What's up? It's Rob Cressy, founder of Bacon Sports, and welcome to another edition of Wake and Bacon, where I give you a dose of positivity and inspiration to get your day started off right. And on my mind today is giving yourself permission to adapt. And this past weekend, my wife and I brought a new family member into the house in the form of a 9-week-old mini goldendoodle who goes by the name of Rally. She is a bundle of joy and love and is amazing. But here's the thing, as we all know with newborn puppies, everything is not puppy dogs and rainbows when it comes to your routine. Taking her out 9 million times. She's running around biting everything. You're trying to figure out how in the world to puppy proof whatever you can. And because of it, we're a little bit out of whack in terms of our flow and our routines. And I'm someone who very much values my time in my routine. I'm very routine oriented. I do things the same time every single day because that's my pattern for success. And a great example of this is this morning. I always read first thing in the morning when I get up. It is literally the first thing that I do. But guess what? Rally had other options for that. So at 5:47 a.m., here comes Rally whining in the cage, wanting to get up. So I'm like, all right, let's get up. It's time for me to get my day started and get her up. And she shot out like Turbo Dog. She's just jumping around, biting everything, jumping on balls. And I'm like, all right, this is how it's going to be. So I've got my Kindle and I'm reading Jocko's latest book. And I'm attempting to read, but here's the dog just jumping on me and is all over the place. And with it, and I'm learning this after the fact, of course, this is only day 3 of having the dog. I got about 2 pages read because the dog was just all over the place, all over me. It had my attention and I was tired because I didn't get to sleep as much. And as I'm thinking back on all of this, what I'm really doing is I'm going to give myself permission to adapt, to allow myself to get used to this new process. And this is something that I want all of us to think about because this lesson is universal, whether it's a new dog, a new child, new workplace settings, or new things going on in the world. We always have to adapt and we all get the opportunity to choose how are we going to respond in the given situation. So am I going to judge myself for not optimizing every second of my day? Or am I going to say, you know what? This isn't going to last forever. I knew signing up for a new puppy, things were going to be a little bit different at the beginning. It's not always going to be like this. And really allowing myself permission to allow the process to happen. Because as a creator, one thing that I've really found is that giving myself permission one way or another is something that can be a challenge at times. Giving myself permission to create or to do things that I want, because so often we have this narrative in our head of how things are supposed to be. And I know from my perspective, this comes from being in corporate America for so long, that 9-to-5 mindset that you need to be doing this. It's the you need to be. And you know what I'm doing? I'm removing the expectations of you need to be. And instead, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to allow myself to adapt to this new situation. And what this is actually going to do in a positive way is force me to focus more on these periods of time in which I can be laser focused. And I'm actually really excited about it because I'm going to be creating a new routine and I'm going to have more productivity in shorter periods of time. So I wanted to share this because it's something going on right now with me. And I know it's something that's also all of us are constantly adapting and changing to this new world. So I challenge you. Give yourself a little bit of permission to adapt to the new world of everything that's going on. And I would actually love to hear from you. What is something that you've adapted to recently, and how did you adapt? Did you adapt well, or do you adapt not so well? Either way, would love to hear about it. Let's make this an absolutely amazing week. I'm super excited for this week. It is one of the best week in sports that we've seen in a long time. So sending tons of good vibes your way. Let's make this amazing.